am I? So my name is Micaiah Gray. I know some people don't know how to pronounce that, so that's the pronunciation. It's Micaiah. And I'm an avid journaler, a recovering perfectionist, a daughter of the King, as are you, I'm sure. And I have spent years learning what it means to actually live like a daughter of God. And so what this means in deeper ways is I could like to call myself a generational cycle or curse breaker. The Old Testament talks a little bit about generational curses, and I think they're a little misunderstood in the Christian space, but we won't get into all that. I have some podcast episodes on that if you're curious. I am the first in my family line to just intentionally choose healing, to choose to break some of the cycles like anger and rage and abuse and etc. So I consider myself an overcomer who knows firsthand what it's like to crawl out of some of the darkest places and find out that God was there the whole time, even when I didn't know it, when I couldn't see it. So a little bit about my story to give you some history. I came from a house where extreme brokenness and sin was just normal. Like so normal that you almost just had to be desensitized to it to just survive. And my biological parents, they met through the drug dealer. My dad was abusive. My mom was in survival mode. And I came into the world already surrounded by addiction, violence, and chaos. By the time I was 5, my sister and I were going into foster care. I didn't get to choose that beginning, right? But God made sure I could choose something different for the generations that come after me. My children, my grandchildren, I get to have an impact on them, and I get to stop that cycle. So back to my story. By the time I was a teenager, I had been going through things that, no girl should ever have to go through, include being sexually assaulted by more than one man. And when I tried to speak up, most of my family stopped speaking to me, and every single experience seemed to confirm the same crushing lie: I am not enough, and everyone always leaves. From the outside, I looked fine, good grades, smart, capable, but inside I was battling panic attacks, deep depression, social anxiety, and a level of self-hate so deep that I was self-harming just to feel a little better. I was numbing with dissociation, nicotine, alcohol, anything to make the pain quieter. I was drowning, and I didn't even have words for how deep the water was. I couldn't explain the emotional pain that I was in. It just felt crushing and overwhelming. But God didn't wait for me to clean myself up before He showed up. He met me in the mess, in my journal, on my knees, in His Word, and that's where everything began to change. Not in one swoop. He didn't just swoop in and scoop me out and fix all my pain. It was very gradual. He took me step by step, and it still hurt as I had to walk through that healing, but He was there in the middle of it. And even in the middle of all of that brokenness, from a young age, there was something in me that always knew God had something huge planned for my life. I knew there was a calling. I knew there was a purpose. And if anything, the pain that I walked through only confirmed it, because why else would the enemy fight so hard? Today, I am living in the beginning of that calling. I found my identity in Christ, my confidence in His Word, and my place in His kingdom. I have the healthiest relationships I've ever had in my life, which, if you know how deep my trust issues ran, you would understand what a miracle that actually is. I am not who I used to be. And if God can take a story as broken as mine, the addiction, the assault, the abandonment, the self-harm, the shame, and redeem every single piece of it, then He can do it for you too, exceedingly abundantly more than you could ever ask or imagine. And that's what this community, that's what my podcast, that's what our free trainings are all about. It's about helping you get to the point where you can find that Christ-like confidence, where you can feel secure, loved, confident, fully rooted in your identity in Christ. It is possible. It is possible for you. If it could happen for me, it can happen for you. But it starts one little mindset shift at a time, one little moment of emotional regulation at a time, one little nervous system safening tool Ignore how messy those words clunk together, at a time. It's the little things that add up to be the big difference. I've known that to be true in my life and in many other people's lives, as I have witnessed people who've gone through similar traumas to me, sometimes even what I would consider worse traumas than me, can slowly come back to God, realizing that they can put those walls down, those barriers that they put up to protect themselves. They don't need them, especially not with God. And it's a gradual journey, and it's a process, and it takes time to let God in, to let other people in, to even start to trust yourself. You know, some of the people in my life who hurt me the most were people that I had an icky feeling about, and I thought to myself, no, you're just crazy. That couldn't be true. They couldn't have that intention. They couldn't be doing that. And so I didn't listen to myself, and I lost my own trust in that process. I blamed God, and I stopped trusting Him. And I pushed everyone away from me because I knew that they were either going to hurt me or they were going to leave me, and it would hurt either way. If you're in a similar place, I want you to know that you're safe here. Whether it's that dramatic or not that dramatic for you, I want you to know this is a safe place for you to learn what your identity in Christ is. For you to learn these scriptural mindset tools that will lead to having that confidence, that peace, that security, which is ultimately going to make you a better woman, a better wife, a better mom, and a better evangelist for the gospel. So if you're all in with me, if you're ready to do this, then check out the rest of the resources in the group. You know, we do occasional free trainings or lives. We have a podcast catalog where you can search all the different topics and episodes in the podcast. And we have the podcast itself. You can just click there and go look and watch the latest episode. And if you ever need anything, you can reach out to me. My support email is info@micaiahgray.com. I'm so excited you're here, and I'll let you guys get back to the rest of your day. Bye!